I hear that currently that we are trying to fix something about the restreaming, so I'm gonna be back in a few seconds here. Just stay tuned. Destructor in sector 1 here. Finding an E-tank, where Rawsome is. Also in sector 1. And he found charge beam there, as I hear. Well, in the background we're trying to fix the lags, so we can eventually see both runners properly again. Destructor meanwhile finding the charge beam being just gravity suit and plasma beam away from go mode, which however could be anywhere. We have another potential gravity suit and Ridley seed while he finds the ice missiles here. I know a lot of people are waiting for the eventual gravity suit and Ridley seed. It will probably happen sometime in the course of the tournament. And we find the speed booster here, that is good. Oh, they have plasma. I pay attention. Meanwhile, my restream died here, so probably gonna be up again in a second. Don't go away. It's all gonna be fixed soon. Yes, gotta go fast. So currently we are looking for wherever the gravity suit is on Destructor's side, and Rawsome has to still potentially find his warrior suit that is in sector 2. Which might not be required if the seed allows for it to be. So might be a good choice to avoid this for now, but it obviously also limits Rawsome's choices in going places in the randomizer for now. So we'll have to see where stuff eventually ends up being. Rawsome meanwhile making places that... And Destructor finds gravity suit in lower sector 1, which is good for Destructor, because he is technically in go mode. He's gonna have some fun getting back out of lower sector 4, but he will definitely go there right away. And what I said about the warrior suit probably not being required might be good if Rawsome so decides not to head back into sector 2 for now, where the warrior suit was, and just also heads instantly to finish off the game. But we will see. We will see. Destructor making his way out of sector 1. Gonna be interesting to see where he heads from here on. If he instantly goes into sector 5, finishes off the game, which he probably will do. I would assume him to do this. While Rawsome meanwhile finds makes his way down there on his stream. He just found the gravity suit too. Destructor heading into sector 3, going in there to open up the level 2 security doors, and then probably making his way into sector 5 from there on, while my restream is back up and I can actually comment while not watching the live stream or the runners anymore, so commentary will not be delayed anymore for now. Once again, apologies for the lags and delays today, but it is quite an exciting race to watch, actually. Seeing both runners having forced a third game in the end, with a potential jet seat going on here. rawsome finding his gravity suit here. Thinking of going back out, but choosing to potentially check the charge core more first. Does though. And Destructor heading into Sector 5. Which I expected him to do anyway. rawsome, meanwhile, showing us what is going to be in the area around the charge core, depending on how many things he wants to check there. Took quite a got quite a disadvantage in this seed by having checked Sector 4, which ended up being a bust, which Destructor never did. By technically routing this run almost perfectly. He's quickly heading down into Sector 5 there, opening the red locks, going to fight the SAX and then just finishing, getting a nice, as good of a shine spark as he can get in the randomizer without having the level 3 security open. Yeah, what I see in chat here is true. Meanwhile, Destructor thinks he's in go mode. I'm not sure if Destructor knows that he is not in go mode yet. We will see. He might be in for a rude awakening. Ooh, ooh, Destructor! This is bad. So, okay, the issue Destructor is currently facing is the randomizer has kind of an issue of requiring you to be able to access the operation stack to trigger the SAX fight, and for that he would need, as the randomizer currently does, high jump or space jump. The screw attack is currently not in logic for the randomizer to make you able to finish the game. It is super sad that rawsome, for Destructor, it is super sad that rawsome found the space jump there, because this is one item that actually will enable him to finish the game. So Destructor knows. I hope Destructor knows that he has to find high jump or space jump, but I do not know if he actually knows or not. So we are gonna see. We know that rawsome is now definitely in go mode. Having found this, rawsome has, however, a slight disadvantage of. So there's gonna be a few things potentially happening down here, which is gonna be super interesting, because rawsome has 3 tanks. rawsome does not have the warrior suit. If rawsome gets frozen by the SAX or the ice core, he could die very quickly. And Destructor, meanwhile, opting to do more checks here. He might have realized that he is not in go mode, which is definitely good for him. Little does he know that he chooses to avoid the one place that has base jump for him. So we're just gonna hope that he finds stuff there, but he's probably gonna go into Sector 4, which from rawsome's side, at least we've seen, is probably nothing. But if high jump was in Sector 4, which we have not seen, that might actually be quite good for Destructor, because that's like the only thing that could lead him to still win this race. But it is gonna be exciting to see if rawsome chooses to fight the SAX, saying that he was not comfortable with freezing it and having slight trouble. Not knowing that potentially without warrior suit, he can still get frozen by the SAX, and the SAX deals a lot of damage to you, so. Oh, rawsome now has all the jump items. Destructor has to either fight the charge core or check this item in Sector 3, which for whatever reason he did not check. This is weird. Because Destructor thought when he was in Sector 3, Destructor thought he was in go mode. And did not bother to check this one item. He definitely... Don't tell him. He definitely made 2 plays that might have cost him the win in this race, because he needs to either go to the charge core and get his base jump there, or go below the level 2 security and get his high jump there. I definitely do not see him going to the level 2 security item below at all, and the charge core might also be way off for Destructor to check. I feel like at the moment the Destructor might actually lose this race. But as I said, he might still check it. rawsome, I'm definitely expecting rawsome to have struggles with the SAX fight down the road because of not having warrior suit and being able to be frozen by the SAX and the ice core. So we will see what is going to happen here. From rawsome's side, we know that nothing is here. We also know from all of rawsome's checks now that Destructor needs to either check the item below the level 2 security to find this high jump there, or to fight the charge core, which he opted not to check because he was in suspected go mode. And these are the only two items that Destructor can still find to finish the game, while still having basically all the rest of the station open. Which is kind of sad. He definitely knows that he is not in go mode, which is a good sign. He, however, does not know where the items are that he needs. And that he basically kinda, I don't want to say through the race with this, but he definitely made a poor decision to choose to avoid these items. I mean, the charge core is fine. He definitely probably realized somewhere down in Sector 5 that he was actually not in go mode at a point where it was way too late already, which is very, very sad. We're also meanwhile having fun with damage dealing enemies down in lower Sector 4 while making his way to the level 4 security. Destructor meanwhile checking Ceres. So the worst thing that could happen to Destructor is finding power bombs and especially screw attack. If Destructor finds screw attack, he is absolutely screwed. Because then he will just go anywhere except for the two locations that we know currently have the jump items that he so desperately needs to be able to finish the game. Choosing to fight the snake here. People say usually it's a valid play. Never skip Ceres. In this case, just skip Ceres. It is kind of sad, as in from a spectator's point of view, knowing that Destructor will definitely not find these two items anytime soon. While rawsome can make his way to the SAX fight and then have his fun there without warrior suit, which I hope he knows that he can get frozen, because he might be in for a very rude awakening if he does not save anywhere. But seeing that he only has 3 E-tanks, I assume he might opt to save before the SAX fight. More anime betrayals. That's the... Yeah, Samus's boots betrayed him. Destructor getting destroyed by not finding any jumpy parts. And we cannot even blame Kazuto for his logic of not including screw attack, because none of the runners has found screw attack yet. Imagine only being able to blame yourself. What a sad, sad situation. Yeah, I mean, it is not over yet. From Fusion Tournament is kind of turning too much into anime on this way. We already have the Tel Aviv Slime Cat Girl. Now we have top 10 anime betrayals of this. Yeah, I definitely, knowing from rawsome himself that he said he's relatively new to the game, he's not too experienced with a lot of strats in various parts of the game, that he only has 3 tanks, few missiles, and does not have Wario, he might not know that he can still get frozen by the SAX, so he might struggle a bit with the fight against the SAX, but we will see while Destructor checks an item we have not seen yet in the Sector 4 data room. Picking up a lot of power bombs here now. The thing Destructor needs to do now. Yeah, rawsome refilling, and probably he's gonna save at the main deck then, I hope for him at least. Destructor, you need to go into Sector 1 and fight the charge core to get space jump, or into Sector 3 below the level 2 security and pick up your high jump. These are the only 2 places that can still make you win and actually finish the game. This is sad. People always talk about like the plasma hunt or the speed hunt or the charge hunt, but this one was the jump hunt. Of just finding one item that makes you go up the way. Destructor contemplating not checking Sector 6. Wow, Sector 6 is always the play, except for definitely this seed where we know Sector 6 is not the play. Where is he going now? Oh, he's going into Sector 1. Oh, this could be good. This could be good. Depending on how much rawsome is going to struggle with the SAX. and the Omega. Also, we have to... rawsome has 3 tanks. 1 Omega hit is 1 E-tank, so if rawsome gets hit 4 times by the Omega, rawsome is dead. This could still be super exciting. Simply judging by the fact that rawsome himself says he's not a very experienced player of the game, he might struggle a lot here. Being able to be frozen. Destructor somehow... not gonna say that he is stream sniping, but he is making the play that he has to do, which is good for him. He's also somewhat limited in where he can go, so he's probably just... he is definitely gonna be raging when he finds his space jump down here while we watch rawsome fight the SAX. Freezes it. I can freeze it. This is a good option to do, but with just the ice beam, you have to be careful here. If he gets hit, he will get frozen. He will probably not get hit, as it looks like. But we're gonna see. Probably the fight of his life against the SAX here, while Destructor makes his way to find his space jump, where rawsome is. Ooh, careful, rawsome. Yeah, and there we have it. rawsome getting frozen by the SAX and then getting a screw attack in his face. Dealing a lot of damage to him, and... yeah. I don't want to say I called it, but I mean, I knew this could happen. That's why rawsome saved, though. He definitely was aware that he could face issues here. Giving Destructor potentially a way to come. I did not jinx this. If anyone says I jinxed this, I did not jinx this. Destructor, meanwhile, wasting some time on doing additional checks, he is probably going to be super happy when he finds his space jump there, and then we might just see him profiting from his better movement and actually having warrior suit of probably finishing maybe ahead of rawsome. But this is definitely an awesome matchup between these two runners today, where we have quite the opposites of Destructor making a huge back in the second race, and potentially here making a good comeback by just never ignore Sector 2 is the only thing I can say here. Destructor is probably not happy right now. If Piz might hear another French word over in Italy, I guess. But Destructor is quickly now making his way over to the SAX to fight it. Destructor having more issues here. rawsome having more issues here with the SAX. It is not an easy fight, especially because he doesn't have the... he has ice missiles, but now having the strat, he's probably gonna look into this strat after this. As he could have... it cost him definitely a lot by not being able to use ice missile and charge beam combo on the SAX, where Destructor is gonna make quick work of the SAX. This is... and he gets frozen again. And he dies again. This is... it is sad to watch. I mean, I called that there would be problems. I didn't expect him to have that much problems. He's probably not gonna be too happy. He should just stick to one strat. What he's trying to do is... he kind of wants to freeze it and then charge it, but he also... he's kind of trying to combine two different strats here, and he should just stay to what he knows and just finish it like this way. Just even if it is slower, just playing it safe. He doesn't know he's ahead. He might feel ahead because the seat is just so short. But I guess we'll see. I hope the third time is the charm for him. It is definitely... I mean, as soon as I saw him not having warrior suit back when he left Sector 2, I was like, this could come back down to hurt him later, and I'm sorry that I kind of made this happen here. It's not on me. This is game 3 between those two runners. We already had two unfortunate deaths of rawsome to the SAX, while Destructor will not have any issues there because, unlike rawsome, Destructor found the warrior suit in Sector 2, which allows him not to be frozen by the SAX, which has caused all of those 2 deaths that rawsome has. Even if rawsome... what I have to... unfortunately, even if rawsome manages to beat the SAX this time, Destructor's loadout is way better than what rawsome has, so Destructor will probably just be able to quickly finish it off here. But there's still anything that can happen. Destructor could get like triple swiped by the Omega a few times. He could get killed here too. Getting a lot of screw attacks here, Destructor. Please, careful. rawsome, meanwhile, playing with the Hornode form of the SAX. Taking it down quickly. Facing the ice core now. Has to be careful. because he can get frozen again by the ice beam that this thing shows. I do not know if both runners have super missiles, but I guess we'll see on the amount of... See, as I said, Destructor like instantly catching up to rawsome here. This is so close. Nobody would have expected this to be so close. Which is only... Oh, rawsome has supers. But if rawsome has supers and Destructor does not have supers, but I expect Destructor to also have supers then. I'm definitely not gonna spoil what's going on in the race time channel this time, because just of how close the race is. rawsome, meanwhile, finishing off the ice core. Destructor being at the end of finishing off the ice core. This is so close. This is such an amazing end of this race here. Way too close for the runner's comfort, probably. But rawsome makes his way down, casually crashing a space station into a planet. Just normal Samus Aran things. Happens every day. Just a normal day in the life of Samus, while Destructor finally also beating the... Oh, rawsome got the Sector 5 supers. Then... So now it's just gonna come down to who finishes... This is a very hype race, John. Made way more hype than necessary by rawsome trying to get too risky at the SAX there. Destructor tying with his last missile. Yeah, rawsome has to be careful with the Omega, because the Omega, one swipe of the Omega does deal 1 E-tank of damage. The Omega can double or triple swipe you, so rawsome might very well be dead in 2 swipes of the Omega if he's not careful. And then he's down to 1 health. Oh no. How unfortunate. See, the beam layout they have is not the best, so he only has... runners have not found Wave Beam, which is a good find, actually. I know who has won, by the way. Do not have Wave Beam, do not have White Beam. This is a very amazing race. 1 second, please do not say anything. Winner of the race. We just want to see who finishes, because we're currently watching both of you fight the Omega at the same time. We're seeing rawsome being slightly ahead here at the Omega. And finishes off the Omega, therefore unfortunately winning the race. Or fortunately winning the race. GG's to rawsome, who also has already joined us here in the commentators booth.
My heart rate is not at a healthy beat right now. I am... Oh my god. Oh. What happened? What happened? Did he die again or something? I died to SAX like 15 times. What happened?
You died twice. I mean, I called that you would probably die there because you opted to avoid the warrior suit the Destructor found in lower sector 2, who also finishes now just 23 seconds ahead of Destructor. This was an amazing race to watch, I have to say.
Oh my god, I'm sure. Oh my gosh. The reason I skipped Sector 1 for so long is because my brain was like, okay, I'm gonna go do Arachnus with missiles, right? Because I don't know if Destructor can do cargo jump or not. So I was like, okay, he's gonna go. If he did cargo jump, I'm behind. So I need to get out of the play, you know, get out of route. And so I went up to Arachnus, and there was diffusion there. I was like, Sector 4. Sector 4 was nothing. I was like, I have to keep out because if it's S1, I lose anyway.
We meanwhile see Destructor. We're gonna unpack soon what happened in this absolutely exciting race. This was a super hype race. GG's Destructor. I hope you are not too sad about this. There's a lot to unpack here that happened in these only 39 minutes of this race.
Oh my gosh. Okay. So I knew there had to have been a heated thing because the amount of energy tanks in this seed, and I just made the wrong call as to which one was required. Because I thought S3 was the S3 heated room was gonna be like a progression because of the number of energy tanks, but it was the lava dive in S1.
Yeah, we had some restreaming issues where we had to deal with some delays and jumps around at the beginning, so that the early game is not too much present for us because we had issues and had to change the restream server at some point. But it was I mean, I watched your stream, so I eventually saw what has happened. A few very interesting things that has happened. If Destructor is, are you able to talk, man?
I am.
So I know. When did you realize you were not in go mode?
I don't remember. Maybe in lower sector 4, I think.
That's
Like,
what it felt like
the
to
only
us.
reason I lost.
Because
The only reason I lost.
Because you opened. You didn't just lose because of the charge core. It was even worse, actually.
I don't even want to know.
Oh, I'm so gonna tell you. I'm so gonna tell you. No, so
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. So your Destructor actually was the first finding gravity, the last item that was there, and then
Yes,
instantly knocked out. Destructor opted to not check the charge core, which led rawsome to find the space jump there, which was good for rawsome because the runners needed a jump item to finish the race off. After that, rawsome went into Sector 3, where Destructor went straight away into Sector 3. Destructor opting to avoid checking the item below the level 2 security, which rawsome checked, unfortunately for us, which is why we know that high jump boots was there.
Oh no.
So basically, Destructor made
dear.
two very bad calls that kind of cost him a lot in the end, but thankfully he went back to the charge core instantly, kind of being limited to what he could still check with the little items that he had. And unfortunately found space jump there. I kind of called at the beginning when Destructor found warrior suit in lower sector 2 that you rawsome avoided to check at all. That you might be facing some issues at the SAX, which then became way more apparent when I saw that you only had
3 tanks.
3 tanks at the SAX. That was, I expected, was a pretty rough because Destructor, what you didn't know, rawsome actually died to the SAX twice, and you were neck and neck at the end of the ice core fight.
I was much more worried about the Omega Metroid because that thing is the bane of my existence, and it will kill me if I have less than 5 energy tanks. So my heart was racing when I went to Omega. I was like, I'm on 3. This guy cannot move forward. Please do not. If
you get unlucky with swipes, you get 2 shots by the Omega.
Yeah,
that can happen, unfortunately, but it didn't happen to you. I mean, I saw you finish first in the race because we had. On the restream, it looked like it was still anyone's game when you started the self-destruction and then Destructor started it shortly afterwards. Because if you would have died to the Omega, I mean, you would have not have won this race, but you did in the end. So how are you feeling now? And how are you feeling, Destructor? I mean, I kind of know how you're feeling, but please share some of your feelings with us.
You know how I am.
My heart rate has decreased back to normal levels.
If people want to know how I'm feeling, I am insanely salty. Insanely salty, super ragey. So like, yeah, that's. Yeah. I cannot say more.
No,
yeah,
I don't blame you.
I think you guys know my attitude, so that's it.
Yeah, I mean, you had the big comeback in the second race, and you had just the unfortunate.
Yeah, all of this for nothing. All of this for nothing because I thought I was in go mode. I'm a stupid brain. I mean, at least all I had to do was check the freaking charge core, and that was it.
Yeah, or the other item. That was so painful for us to watch because I was expecting you to never go back into Sector 3, especially that place, or to the charge core anytime soon. So it was quite reassuring seeing you go to the charge core immediately because you could have still potentially won this if rawsome had had more issues at the final bosses.
Destructor, I have a question for you. Can you do cargo jump?
No.
Oh, thank God. As soon as I got missiles there, I was like, oh no, please, how far behind am I?
You missed the end. Oh, Clueless, you should watch the whole race. This is
did you check Arachnus?
Yeah, I went to Arachnus as soon as I got missiles.
Yeah, me too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you kind of did similar things.
Yeah, I figured if you could do cargo jump, then you would have gotten missiles, and then you would have been able to get to S1 much faster. So then I basically avoided S1 as long as possible.
Yeah, Destructor, you had the advantage of having warrior suit. I mean, I know that you wouldn't have needed it for the SAX fight because you know that you would have been frozen. rawsome already has said us in the last few interviews that he is not familiar with freezing the SAX, so I expected him to have more issues there, and unfortunately that also came through. But in the end, it eventually worked out for him. sorry that the race seeds were so hard on you today, because we had the troll seed in the first one with the missile data. Then we had the second one more of a normal seed, but just a normal plasma hunt, and then this just seemingly a jet seed, but
This seed, if routed, if like mistakes hadn't been made, probably could have been sub 30. Like this,
Yeah,
this
probably.
I when I grabbed Space Jump, I was like, yeah, no, this could be the fastest seed. Like
yeah, Space Jump
I've
being
ever
where
seen.
it was definitely good for you, because otherwise,
Yeah.
if Destructor would have found Space Jump anytime earlier, he would have won. Good for Destructor, because we were thinking that you probably did not know in chat that you needed a jump item, but it seems like that realization happened somewhere down in lower sector 4, where kind of the damage already was done. So let's see where are there any questions in chat while I'm checking what's going to be going on for the runners up next? Because you, rawsome, are gonna be facing off against Rezarin.
Oh boy.
Actually beating what was the bet of this one? Cannot see anymore. I'm pretty sure that people had Destructor as a favorite compared to you, but
Oh,
I mean,
yeah, I'm not
those races
surprised.
were super close. I mean, this just shows that Randomizer, that skill necessary is not necessarily the thing that you need. You just need to have good routing and luck. That's equally as important as being able to execute the game properly.
Mhm.
While Destructor is facing off against Solsky then. For to start his, it seems like during these commentary that the tournament is taking a way towards the anime side, because we have had so many times today like top 10 anime betrayals posted in chat here, and Destructor can basically start his redemption arc down in the losers bracket and hopefully get some wins in there on to not feel too bad about this. I wouldn't feel too bad about this race. I know you lost, but it was so close in any of the three races. This could have easily
all
been
three
like
were
anyone's race.
All three were within half a minute, right?
I think
along there.
the first and the second one were a bit further apart, but just seeing how the routing was, it could have been anyone's races today. Really, this could easily have been a 2-0 for either of you, or as it is now a 2-1, or easily Destructor could have also won 2-1. So, just shows how amazing the randomizer in general is. Do we have any questions in the chat, or do the runners have any final remarks? Otherwise, I would just hand it back to SpeedGaming here then.
Nope, I'm all good.
Anything from you, Destructor, or are you just sad about the race? I assume.
GG rawsome and good luck forward.
Sorry that you lost. GG's to rawsome that you won.
I mean, I lost. I lost. That's it.
I mean, happens.
Yeah.
Happens.
You need a winner and
You
a
still have a
loser,
chance
so
to win
it's
that whole
fine.
thing. I mean, even Scotty is in the losers bracket, so
Don't expect me to win when I make this kind of play, honestly.
I mean, your plays weren't bad. You just, I hope for the future in the tournament that this, having experienced this situation now, is at least not going to happen again in the tournament for you.
Yeah.
So yeah. Yeah, and I don't seem to be anything else from people in chat either with questions about this relatively straightforward seed of the runners. I thank you guys for racing. GG's, Destructor and rawsome. Give
Thanks
these
for
guys a
commentating,
follow.
Freddy.
Yeah, making me do overtime. Actually making me work all the time I signed up for. It was not planned, but it's fine. I mean, I signed up for the 4 hours, so kind of have to do this. Yeah, give the runners a follow. They are definitely amazing, as you've seen today. Super close matches. And yeah, we're gonna see you next mission then. Oh yeah, so sorry. We have more Fusion Randomizer going on at the moment. Yeah, you should definitely watch this one, Clueless. This one is at least the third race. That's super exciting. We have currently still happening on SpeedGaming 5, unless the champ Ivan already has absolutely demolished his opponent. We have SN Ivan, the number 1 seed of the tournament, finally entering against Sonic 1126. Currently, okay, that one just finished, I heard, apparently. So then we only have one more race scheduled for today, which is Logan versus Dragonfangs on SpeedGaming 2 here on this channel at 5 p.m. EST later. Going to be commented by Pikmin. And yeah, be sure to check that one out. It's the last Fusion race that we have scheduled here today. And have a good one, everyone. See you next mission.